What's up, party people? G5 Productions in the place to be. Superman First Class in the mix. Today we're going to be unboxing the EcoFlow River Max and the EcoFlow 160 watt solar panel. Let's get it. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I'm Gerald, excited to share with you all once again. And I'm going to be unboxing the EcoFlow River Max and the associated panel that comes with it. And I have a feeling that this is going to go beyond personal home use because I'm a DJ and a live sound guy, so I'm probably going to be testing this thing to those applications in other videos. But today is all about unboxing. I'm not going to talk you to death, so without further ado, go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to keep up with all these cool videos, all you got to do is rock that bell. Now let's unbox some stuff. So inside the main box of the EcoFlow is the accessory box and the EcoFlow River Max itself. Now right off the rip, the EcoFlow does give you some quick instructions right on the back of the accessory box. So there they are for your viewing. Just check those out or pause it if you need to in the video. So at this time, we're going to dump all this stuff out, get it sorted out, and then we're going to talk about it. So here's my freshly fingerprinted accessory box, and more important than that is what actually came out of it. So let's talk about that. We're going to start this party off with the first of the charge cables, which is a wall charging option, car charging option, and lastly there's a solar panel charging option. Now to charge other accessories with the EcoFlow River Max, it comes with an assortment of cables like this barrel connector cable, a USB type A to USB micro cable, a USB-C to USB-C cable, and lastly there is a USB type A to lightning cable. So yay iPhone users. Now there's also an included accessory kit so that you can remove the battery and turn it into the EcoFlow River with the included screwdriver and the short screws for the base. As far as paperwork goes, you just have this quick do-it-yourself instructions, nothing on the back side of it as you see here, and there's the instructions manual. And if you turn it over, you'll see you can register this to get a 24-month warranty. Now I can't stress enough to register your product so that way if there's a claim, you can get the help you need with replacement or refund if you need it. But make sure that you register your products because it's important to do so. Now moving on to the EcoFlow River, on the front you have sections like this light, you have a display section, and then there's the car charging port right under this tab. And just below that, in that same section, you have two barrel connection charging options. And then of course to charge other devices, there's USB-C, two USB type A plugs in the middle there, and you also have a USB type A fast charging port, which is very convenient. Now right below the light section is a hard reset button. And here is the EcoFlow River Max battery with a light attached to the battery. So that's an LED strip right there. And if you turn on any section, there's a button dedicated to it to turn it on or off depending on what you want to use. Now to remove the EcoFlow Max battery to turn this into a river, all you have to do is remove the 4 long screws on the bottom here with the included accessory kit to do so. And of course, when the base goes back to the bottom of the main unit, then you use the short screws to replace the long screws. So moving along to the right side of the unit, you have 3 plug-in options right there. And the ground holes are not for really grounding. They just so that ground pins on those type of plugs can fit in it. And this section has its own dedicated power to power it on or off as you want to use it or not. Right above it is where the cooling fan is to help keep the unit cool. We're going to flip this around to the back, and of course there is nothing more there than the EcoFlow River Max logo. So where's the G-Fire logo? Man, just kidding everybody. But keeping it moving to the other side of the panel is where you would actually charge the unit, and you can see that it's pictured right on the panel right there. So let's flip that up, and obviously there's where you plug the IC cable from the wall. You have the circuit breaker right there in the middle that's connected to it, and the other port doubles as car charging and solar panel charging. And then here's just a shroud or another heat sink to help the unit stay cooled while it's in use. But other than that, we're back to the front of the EcoFlow River Max, and the last thing I want to talk about is on top, which the handles come in different colors if you're into that, by removing these 4 things here to get to the screws. You can remove the handle, but for me, I'm just going to leave this where it is so I can carry it or work out with it, I guess. Moving on to the EcoFlow solar panel, which is a 160 watt version. Looking at the box, there is a data plate so you can see in different languages all of the specs. And for those of you who are really only interested in the English version of all these specs, well, here's a little close-up view of it. And if you want to stop it or pause it, you can do that, but know that the instruction manual covers all the same stuff. So let's go ahead now and get this box opened up as well so you guys can see what's in it, how it works, and all that good stuff. So really simple, 2 zippers, and to access those, I'm just removing the carry strap right there. One zipper will stop near the bottom right there, and the other one goes all the way around to the opposite side, just simply so I can unfold it and have access to the actual solar panel, right? Which is folded into like 4 sections. Now, right off the rip, you do have these attached D-rings so that you can connect those to the panel later. I'll show you how that's done. And then, of course, if you pick the panel up and move it, somewhere in there are the instructions. So there's the instruction booklet and warranty card for the panel. Moving right over to the other side though of the case, you do have some more D-rings. This is designed to prop up the solar panels when you're using it outside to get some sun to charge the unit. But other than that, the unit is pretty lightweight. I feel like it's a really well-made design, and I feel like quality control has done a really great job with this. By the way, this panel is IP rated, so it's boasted to be able to use outside in a light drizzle and whatnot, but make sure you check the book for further details. So let's get this all unfolded so I can show you guys a perspective of about how wide this panel is, and you can see it a little bit. And here it is mashed up against my 4-foot table, just so you have an idea of how wide it is when you unfold it. Now, here's the flexible side. And then, of course, you have a rigid side. And this is the side that helps stand the panel up once we get it all set up. I think it's going to be a pretty simple process. So let's do it. Just put the one flexible side down to the ground and get this panel out so we can unfold it and set it all up. And I tell you what, I haven't read any instructions on this, but I think I can do this pretty simply, and I'm just going for it. And in fact, you know what? Most of us don't really read instructions, but you really should, because there are some technical things that you just have to know. However, moving right along to get this all set up in a convenient manner there, I'm just going to open it up, lean it back on my piano bench behind it for the moment, and then I'm going to connect the bottom D-rings. And it's pretty simple, so nothing special about it. You see it for what it is, and I will probably become a lot faster at this as I do this more and more. But moving this forward, I'm going to just go ahead and get it all propped up and set the way it's designed to be used. And there's my solar panel all propped up on the case that it came in with absolutely no problems. And I think the one thing I have to pay attention to is making sure the D-rings are not twisted, kinked, or binded in some weird way. But other than that, there it is. And of course, here's a side view so you guys can see what does that look like if you had this like outside on the ground or wherever. The rigid side is holding up the top, and the flexible side helps it from sliding further forward. So you can see that the holes are in the middle of both of the 2 center panels of the panel. And right up top, it's the exact same thing. Now, what I do appreciate about this is I think EcoFlow are thinking about campers and other options. So you do have some holes that are on the corner edges of the entire panel too. So maybe you could tie this up in a tree or hang it from the side of a camper or bungee it to the top of your vehicle. You know, there's some options there, and I really appreciate the thought process that goes into it. So here it is in all of its glory. And now let's go ahead and get this all set up and hooked up to the EcoFlow River Max just to show you how it connects. So here's the EcoFlow River Max back in the mix temporarily. I'm not going to take this outside and charge it and all that. I'm just really simply going to show you by taking this cable, unraveling the attached Velcro. So that's very convenient for storage. And I'm going to plug it right here where it goes. And it's really only one way to fit. And obviously the colors match to each other. And, you know, don't put the circle in the square. All right, so here we go. Now, the other end of the lead are positive and negative leaves, so they're color coded, and also physically you cannot connect that wrong because I mean it's just designed in a way you can't really connect it wrong, right? So as you can see right here, I'm just simply putting the male to the female end, and on the opposite end of the lead, I'm putting the female to the male end accordingly, right? So this is how you physically hook up the panel to the EcoFlow River Max. And there's a close-up view so you guys can see both the positive and the negative leads all hooked up like it is, right? Now, one thing I want you to notice is that in storage mode, this does come like zip tied together. I will be removing those and replacing it with my own Velcros just to be able to undo the cables. But taking this apart, I was having a little bit of difficult time with my fingernails, so I on the fly thought about taking the cable and pushing it in the indent of the detachment, and it worked fine. So that way I didn't have to go get another tool. So here's a close-up of the same thing, but in the top part of the panel. You know, a little bit of fuss, but I think I really didn't want to go get a tool and start jamming screwdrivers up against this plastic, right? So I'm just squeezing the cable in the indent, and it then presses down on the tab so that I can remove it, and there it is. So of course, storing the cable, you just do in reverse what you did to, you know, unroll it, right? So just roll it up to size and take the Velcro strap there and just, you know, put it back in place. I do appreciate Velcro. I do a lot of cable management with Velcros just because you could reuse those. But here it is, there it is, and done. Another thing I wanted to take note too is the cables do stretch out a bit, but you have to break those zip ties to do so. And they are labeled with these positive and negative tabs, right? So you get just, you know, convenience all the way around. I mean, even if you didn't look at that, you just can't connect those in the wrong way because physically they won't do it. So to undo this, it's just really simple by taking off the D-rings and in no particular order. So I'm going to start at the top right here, and I'm going to drop the back of the thingy so I could put the panel on the ground. And there we go, taking off the bottom D-rings, fold it, and there it is. So one thing I did notice when I was putting this away is I should have put the cable side down or up against the flexible side because that's kind of how it came in. And I don't want the rigid side pressing up against the cable, but it's not a big deal. So I don't think it's going to like break it or damage it. It's just something that I'm going to redo off camera to make sure I'm conscious of how I store that. But other than that, there's the panel. It's all done. Recapping the entire bundle, we have the EcoFlow River Max. And as far as the charging options, we have a wall charging option, a car charging option, and a solar panel charging option. To charge all the devices, we have different assortments of cables to make that happen. And of course, to change it to the River, we can remove the battery with the included screwdriver and short screws. And for paperwork, we have an instruction manual and of course a quick do-it-yourself instruction to connect it over to the EcoFlow 160 watt panel, which also comes with its own instruction booklet. And that's it. Thank you all for watching this video. It was exciting to unbox this and see all the goodies inside of both boxes. We went over the basics of the EcoFlow itself and how to connect the solar panel to it. In other videos, I will be actually showing you how I use it in different capacities with and without the solar panel, and of course testing it out on home use as well as DJ use because I'm an innovator like that. Other than that, if you guys don't mind, smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and to keep up with all these cool videos, all you got to do is rock that bell. To learn more about us at G5 Productions, visit our website at www.g5productions.com. Let's party. And as you could see, the light, it did come on 23 hours to charge it. Well, now 25. So I have about 28 hours to charge this thing. It is currently at 38% charge. I'm only getting 13 watts of input.